The Denver Broncos handed the Cowboys their second loss of the season. I'll repeat that again. The Denver Broncos handed the Cowboys the second loss of the season. And following that victory, the Broncos head coach Vic Fangio had some things to say. He mentioned that he now has the secret to beating the boys. Of course, this is something. It's easier to say something like this after a victory. So, Brandon, I want to come to you here. Do you think he's actually found the secret to beating the Cowboys, or did he just stumble across a lucky win there?
I think he stumbled across a bad game,
Mm.
to be honest with you. I've never really bought into the Vic Fangio genius. I've never really been a fan of Vic Fangio. He's just kind of been a coach. Um, and so I don't know if he is claiming to be a mastermind on offense or defense of creating a scheme to beat a hot Cowboys team. I think he just got stuck with a decent game plan and a bad game by the other team. Um, because I don't think the Cowboys played near as well as they could have. But like I said, I'm not buying into the Vic Fangio genius, so I think he's just being cocky. I think he's taking his chance to dunk on someone because he's not going to get many chances to. I did a little digging into why the Vic Fangio genius aura exists, and it's entirely around his quote unquote defensive mind. Um, but to put it into context, his defensive mind was built around Ray Lewis, Rod Woodson, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Navarro Bowman, and Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Kyle Fuller, Eddie Jackson. These guys are all Pro Bowl or first team All Pro or both who have played under a Vic Fangio defense. There's never been a time where he's had a plus record or a positive record in the NFL where he hasn't had four All Pros. So, I mean, is he a defensive genius or is he good enough to help four Pro Bowlers have a good defense as well? Um, on top of which, his 3 seasons coaching with the Broncos are barely as good as Josh McDaniels head coaching the Broncos. So I don't really know where the Vic Fangio genius comes from. Uh, by the numbers, he's about as good of a head coach as Josh McDaniels was in Denver. So I think he's just being cocky and dunking on someone while he has a chance to.
Mm. Maybe the genius comes from his recruiting tactics. But Jin, how do you feel about this? Do you think he has the secret to beating your boys, or is it just was it just a bad game from you guys?
No, I think it was just a bad game. I mean, it just in overall, I think, obviously we got a little bit overconfident. Even Jerry Jones came out saying that. And also, it's just bad luck. That block punt, supposed to be, the start of a great momentum, but, being obviously out of bad luck, Denver gets a first down off of that, which has never happened in the history of the NFL. So it just seems like, it's good that the boys needed this loss. They took the L like a champion. Um, you can call it moral victory or you can call it whatever it is. But we almost have a 99% chance of going to the playoffs, and this is something that you wanted to avoid going into go during the playoffs because once you lose the playoffs, you're done. So now the boys have known exactly how an L tastes like, and obviously they don't want that, especially in the playoff season. So they're going to get better. And also, it seems like again, I think the wordings and the media have gotten into Trayvon Diggs' head a little bit. Saying that he's the MVP, defensive MVP of the year. I think he just needs to settle down, do what he does, and come back a better player than he was overall. Overall, I mean, I think you know no team is going to go out there and win every single game. It's almost like the Bucks got essentially shitted on by the Saints when they were heavy favorites as well. Bucks is most likely going to bounce back. Same thing with the boys.
Yep. Yeah. So Vic Fangio, I guess we're the verdict is still out on his defensive genius. Um,
He's gonna obviously take the ultimate L at the end of the year when he gets fired as the coach.